more equal, and more united. This is the dream that the poet Sandile Dikeni describes in his work called Love Poem for My Country. My country is for health and wealth, he says. See the blue of the sky, and beneath the jewels of fish, deep under the bowels of soil. Hear the golden voice of a miner's praise for my country. My country is for unity. Feel the millions. See their passion. Their hands are joined together, and there is hope in their eyes. On this day, our hands are joined together. We are united as South Africans. We are full of hope. Let us carry this hope to permeate throughout our nation so that everyone can join hands to build the South Africa of our dreams. God bless South Africa and protect its people. Nkosi sikelela i-Afrika, Morena buluka sichaba sa Yesu. God sien South Africa. Modzemu patochedza Afrika Chipembe. Hosi katekisa Afrika. Chief Justice, I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, for addressing us. Once more, let us welcome our President and his address with another round of applause. Mr. President, I now invite you to observe the mass fly past.
Mr. President, I continue. Our President, His Excellency Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Under the command, direction and auspices of the Chief of the South African Air Force, Lieutenant General Wiseman Esimbambo, MMPSCJ, myself, Lieutenant Colonel Andre Vollenhoven, will be your fly past and air display commentator in honor of the Presidential Inauguration 2024. The complement of aircraft of the South African Air Force will form part of the fly past and air display is represented by various squadrons around the country, serving within the borders of the South African Air Force, contained by various bases strategically located around the Republic of South Africa. These airmen and women of various ethnic backgrounds, gender, and cultures will showcase their flying skills under surveilling strength of the South African Air Force motto, "Free the Eagle." The appointed Air Force senior officer in charge of today's fly past and air display is Colonel Advocate Andrew Segone, also known as Trumpy. The ground liaison officer responsible for the safety of the fly past and air display is Lieutenant Colonel Ronnie Mashao, assisted by the assisting GLO Major Ditau Mahano. The fly past air display heralds the inauguration of the President of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, against the beautiful backdrop of 30 years of democracy of the Rainbow Nation. Furthermore, this great democratic achievement is echoed in the South African Air Force, bringing, surely, the parade to the open blue skies. It is the mandate of the South African Air Force as an arm of service within the South African National Defence Force to protect the Republic from air assaults or make it impossible for any opposing air force to provide attacking ground forces with air support, thereby establishing air superiority, maintaining the sovereignty of the Republic of South Africa. The South African Air Force positions itself to project effective air and space power through innovation in the theatre of operations, internal as well as external to the nation it serves. It is for these reasons, as I speak, there are committed aircraft tasks in executing combat air patrols at this very moment around the designated airspace around the Union buildings, ensuring that today's official celebration proceedings succeed without disturbance or interference. In support of these combat air patrols, it is tactical mobile radars being deployed, whose very purpose is to search, locate, and pinpoint aerial threats of any nature in order of our combat aircraft to intercept and force down. Ladies and gentlemen, let us ready ourselves for a spectacular display of air power excellence by the South African Air Force, as we will now continue with our mass flypast program. The second phase of flight will now commence. The flypast of all aircraft will approach from the south directly in your line of vision, just above the Telkom Tower. Inbound, the South African Air Force will so cast 8 formations flights as part of today's celebrations, which allow me to briefly introduce you in the order of flight, as you can hear before you see them. First in line will the helicopter diamond formation, executed by 4 light utility helicopters, which is 2 Augusta A109s in the lead and the rear, respectively, and the 2 Kawasaki BK117s. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to the Augusta A109 in the rear and in the lead, and the 2 BK117s. We anticipate now, second in line, another helicopter diamond formation, this time consisting of 1 Rooivalk combat support helicopter in the lead, 2 Oryx medium utility helicopters on the wings left and right, and 1 Super Lynx 300 Mark 64 maritime helicopter in the rear. That first roar in the skies that you hear is the beautiful sound of the Rooivalk combat support helicopter in the lead, flown by Lieutenant Colonel Mutlahane, supported by 2 Oryx medium utility helicopters on the wings left and right, and in the middle, and Super Lynx 300 M64 maritime helicopter aircraft. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Rooivalk, the BK117, and the Super Lynx maritime patrol aircraft. Next, as part of this mass fly-past inauguration towards, in honor of our President, the CASA call sign Charlie 212 formation is on the approach.